Um, okay. I'm just not going to beat around the bush. Between yesterday's episode of Amphibia, which was the season finale, and the newest chapter of One Piece I just read, which will probably be put in anime form a little over a year from now. Forget like the usual 10-15 minutes I usually take to do a video like this. I need like 5 hours. Holy cow. Like, well, first of all, I should probably get a few important messages out of the way. Obviously Tony R's is closing in a little over a week from now, so if you haven't gone, now's your chance to go. If you don't live in Corning or near Corning, feel free to ignore this part, but yes, now that's taken care of. Holy cow, yesterday was awesome. Okay, so where do I even start with this? Well, how about I start at, well, obviously, pretty much I'm going to be talking about the finale of Amphibia, or season finale. So, where do I start? Well, let's start at the beginning, but not just the beginning. As in 3 months in the series universe. When, believe it or not, they actually flash back to Anne's past. As in the very day she got transported to Amphibia, which was her 13th birthday. And it was her friend, yet I say very toxic friend, because I have never seen, it's been a while since I've seen a character this, like, manipulative and, like, conniving in order to get what she wants since, I don't even know when. Like, seriously. This girl be crazy. And she's the one who, because Anne had to get home to, her house because her parents are throwing her a party. But, Sasha says, Marcy found this one music box you should get. So let's go get it. Instead of going home, and obviously we know the rest of the story goes, Anne ends up stealing the music box, and she's transported to Amphibia. And now, fast forward 3 months later, we are at the very end of Anne of the Year. Pretty much practically where the last episode ended off. And the Toads from Toad Tower are starting to, take over the town. And at first it's a big, problem, but it turns out that, Grime and Sasha want to throw a party because, they found Anne after all this time, which, is seemingly pretty, nice. They have a party barge, and, well, it's really like a car, whatever, you get the idea. So they get to Toad Tower, and, at first everything seems, pretty okay. They're having a party, they're having fun. There's this one line where, first Polly is talking to a guard, and she's like, so, is that the only mace you have, or do you work with other weapons? Polly is just so fun. And then Hop Hop is at the buffet eating crab legs, and he's like, Polly, be sure to get your fill, because these babies go by fast. Now, as someone who has crab legs on his, as his fish dish on his full course menu life, I can attest to the fact that crab legs really do go fast. Anyway, it turns out that the Toads have been trying to maintain order around Amphibia, and as of late, a lot of the frogs have been, sort of rebelling. And believe it or not, it's been due to the actions of Hop Hop. So basically, this was a giant elaborate ruse to capture the town, obviously including Hop Hop, so they can publicly execute him to make an example to anyone who tries anything crazy. Holy cow, this is good television, folks. I have to say. So, obviously the plan is, they gotta try to escape. And, Wally comes up with this great idea. See, apparently in Amphibia, there's these things called boom shrooms, which work like, active grenades, only instead of like pulling off the key or the stem, you just sort of press it, and that's like a sort of time reaction. So Wally plants these boom shrooms underneath Toad Tower in a way so they can blow up from the inside. They escape, but it's in an area where the guards are obviously just standing there. And so they all go to the top of the tower, and and Anne's like, Sasha, don't do this. And they're like, well, Anne, why do you care? We don't even belong here anyway. I mean, we have to go home. We can't just stay here forever. I mean, don't you miss your family? And then Anne's like, and don't get me wrong, she does miss her family at home, but it's basically, these people have grown to love Anne over time. I mean, literally in the last episode, she just won the award for Frog of the Year. She has earned the right to be able to say that the people of Wartwood, the planners, Hop Hop, Sprig, and Polly, they are her family. And she will fight to the bitter end for them. And she literally does, because she wields a sword again. I wanted to see her wield a sword, and she does, and it's awesome. And so Grime is like, okay, this should be fun. Because because Grime says, okay, Sasha, you've been helping me out a lot lately, so how about I give you some advice? Stamp out the problem before it escalates. So Grime issues a challenge where, Anne and Sasha have to fight each other. And obviously if Anne wins, they all go free, yada, yada, yada. And if, Sasha wins, well, the giant carnivorous plant they have at the bottom of the tower is hungry. So, yeah, no pressure. So, eventually Anne wins, and then Anne says to Grime, okay, we won, now let's go. And Grime's like, yeah, I don't think so. And right around the time this happens, the boom shrooms at the bottom of the tower explode, and they try to escape, and for whatever reason, the song Lean On Me is playing because all the toads escape, but Sasha's about to fall off this giant, ledge or whatever. And in the background, you hear, do, 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 do. Like that song. I think it's called Lean On Me. Someone's gonna point out what it is at some point. I know they are. Anyway, so Anne does try to save Sasha, but it turns out Anne can't hold on much longer either. So then the planners come to save her, and then Sasha says, Anne, you should be with them. So she lets go, presumably, the shock of, that her inevitable death is about to come knocks her out. So Grime ends up saving her and taking her away into the forest. And, Anne and the planner family are, safe. And that's one thing I like to point out. I love that, obviously, for the most part, this season finale took place in the span of one night. I'll tell you why. Because after, Anne is safe, the planner family is with her at the top of Toad Tower. It's a beautiful, red, glowing sunrise, in the background, and you see the planner family shadow, or silhouettes, signifying, new hope is on the horizon. I love that metaphor. I think it's great. But I love that, even though it was technically morning, around where Toad Tower is, the sky is red for some reason. So they kept that aesthetic as well, which is great. I love that. And so the episode essentially ends with everyone returning to Wartwood. Obviously having, been put through being put through a ringer, especially the mayor, who I just want to say right now, the mayor totally redeemed himself, because as the tower's falling, he picks up everybody he can and tries to run out the tower. I'm like, yeah, I mean, the mayor is essentially one of the toads, but he does grow to care about these people. Plus, he even says, if I don't save you, who's going to vote for me? So, that was a nice, funny funny line. So I like that. So everyone returns to Wartwood, and it was actually quite funny because Toady and the mayor walk into the office, and then Toadie's like, do you think you can carry me again, sir? And then the mayor's like, never again, Toady. So yeah, that was good. And so Anne, Sprig, Hop Hop, and Polly are sitting at the fountain in the middle of the town, overlooking a great view of the valley. The camera starts panning up to obviously a better view of the valley. And before it gets to there, Anne says, well, I don't have a choice. I got to find a way to get home. And then the Planner family says, it's going to be hard and fraught with danger. Then Anne's like, as long as I'm with you guys, I think I'm going to be okay. Keep in mind, I'm paraphrasing some of this, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. So again, it cuts back to the Planner family, overlooking the valley, camera panning up to what the valley looks like, which is actually a really beautiful shot, by the way. And in the top right-hand corner, it says, end of part 1. And I was immediately blown away. This was a great season finale. Now, granted, I kind of wish it ended on a slightly happier note. I mean, in my opinion, the best season finale for the first season of a TV show, the best one, would still go to Avatar: The Last Airbender, just because that one really did end on a happy note. But this was still great. I love this. Not that I would really give this, never really give, if I gave stuff like this grades, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. This was a great season finale. And so, you know what, how about I mention, I think that's what I'll do. I'll mention, really my overall thoughts on, the series as a whole, as if you didn't already know. This series was fantastic. Now, as you guys already know, and I have said this before, but, I'll say it again. This show was created by Matt Brawley, who was a storyboard editor, was a story artist for Gravity Falls. Now, I didn't watch Gravity Falls. I actually missed out on it when it first aired. So, don't get me wrong, I have seen the series, and of course it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. But, I missed out on that experience of just seeing it all from beginning to end when it first came out. So, to Matt Brawley, I doubt you're probably ever going to see this. But if by chance you do, thank you for giving me this second chance. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to watch your work, blossom from, I'd say beginning to end, but considering that, a second season is coming out, I guess the season 1 from beginning to end. Let's say that. So thank you for giving me this second chance, to allow me to watch, your work shine. I cannot wait for season 2. I am thrilled I got to witness this journey from start to finish. And I can't wait to see what happens to Anne and the Planner family next. Speaking of which, how about I get into my thanks to the cast as well, because there were a few definite shining players. Obviously I gotta go with, don't get me wrong, this show had a great voiceover cast. Kevin McDonald, Mona Marshall, John DiMaggio, Kevin Michael Richardson, Katie Crown. This list goes on. Jack McBrayer, who was the mayor's assistant. Seriously, this cast was phenomenal. This is probably the best supporting, in terms of animated shows, I guess. This is probably the best supporting cast I've ever seen since probably, the Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra shows. This is a great cast. But in terms of supporting players, the ones that definitely stand out to me, the one that definitely stands out to me the most, just because he's so incredibly recognizable, is Stephen Root as the mayor. Now, Stephen Root was Bill from King of the Hill, and he's also Gordy from Dodgeball. So, he's definitely a man of pedigree. And, I love that he's able to play this Southern gentleman who's the mayor and, wants people to vote for him. But, it still has enough of a heart where, even Anne is able to make him turn around a little bit. And that's awesome. And another guy is James Patrick Stewart, who was the voice of Wally, One-Eyed Wally, who literally went from being like this one-note, one-eyed, technically, character to quite literally making a character that, honestly, every time I see him on screen, I just smile. So, yes, this cast was phenomenal. Thank you guys. But now how about we get into the main cast? So, first, Amanda Leeton, who actually has done voiceover before as Blossom on that Powerpuff Girls cartoon that came out in 2016. Now, if you remember that cartoon, you know that it was heavily panned. A lot of people were thinking it wasn't very good, it didn't need to exist, etc. And while I do feel that's true, that show was not without some good things. And definitely the three actresses they got to be Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup in that cartoon, they were definitely one of the shining points. And Amanda Leeton was one of them, as she was Blossom. So it's great to see that Amanda Leeton was able to, prove that getting Blossom wasn't just a fluke. She was great. She made me laugh as Polly. Polly is definitely, one tough cookie, and Amanda Leeton really shined as that character. Justin Felbringer as Sprig, was great. Definitely, someone, young, naive, yet, very much optimistic. Definitely, a kid that, other little kids in real life could, look up to. Or, be like. Because, that's what kids are like in this day and age. So, that's awesome. Now, it's hard for me to say who among the following two people is the MVP. So, you know what? I think I'll do a co-MVP. First and foremost, I gotta talk about Bill Farmer. Bill Farmer, Disney legend, he is the voice of Goofy. Of, Mickey, Donald, Goofy, yeah, he is Goofy. And for the most part, that's pretty much, what he's known for. I mean, yes, he's done plenty of other things as well. But, for the most part, everyone will believe him to synonymously be with, Goofy. All I can say is this. If you ever thought that Bill Farmer could only do Goofy and nothing else, I will be the one to say he may be known for voicing a goof, but after being, Hop Hop on Amphibia, that man is the GOAT, okay? He was awesome. He made me cry. He made me, well, not literally cry, but you get the idea. He made me feel for him. He made me laugh. Bill Farmer's comedic timing is always spot on. There's a reason why that man's a Disney legend. There's a reason why Disney should keep paying that man. And yeah, there is nothing else I can say is, Bill Farmer and, well, you know what? Bill Farmer and Tony Anselmo, because he's the voice of Donald Duck. Both of those guys are GOATs. Whether they're voicing Donald and Goofy in the Kingdom Hearts games or in other Disney cartoons, those guys are awesome. But, I should mention Tony Anselmo because he does reprise his role as Donald Duck in the new DuckTales cartoon. So, yeah, they're doing pretty well. So, yes, Bill Farmer was great. I love that you could feel for him. He brought a lot of emotional depth, and I can't wait to see him shine in season 2. And now how about we get to the other MVP of the show? That is Brenda Song. I stated before Amphibia started that Brenda Song is the makings of a future Disney legend. Because, if you're a 90s kid who was like, grew up in the 90s and was a teenager in the 2000s, you've seen what Brenda Song can do on Disney Channel. I mean, she was in like The Sweet Life, She's in like various Disney Channel original movies. She was everywhere. So when I first saw her do like the whole thing where the Disney star does the Mickey Mouse thing with that wand, I'm like, Brenda Song is back. I'm like, and she's like, it's good to be back. I'm like, okay, she's back. She's here to stay. She's obviously very excited to do this. She wants to be here. Not that I doubt her or anything, but it's very evident that she was ready to step up and really take charge in this. And boy, did she ever! Brenda Song, you were awesome, and I mean what I said when I said that you are going to be a Disney legend one day. I firmly believe you will. I mean, not that it's going to happen now, obviously. I mean, this sort of thing, takes time. But I believe you will one day. I hope you do one day. That would be awesome. So, yes. What else, can I say? I mean, the animation was great. Character design, awesome. The animation, pretty much everything about this show, I am so glad I started, to watch from beginning to end. At least part 1. Which, unfortunately, I do have to get to the, couple concerns that, I do have. I mean, one is, I want season 2 to come out, like, now. Obviously, I want to see what happens next. Because, I do want to see Anne get home, And 2, I am concerned that just like in the Star vs. the Forces of Evil series finale, that even though it did flesh out a lot of things, it probably could have done more, but you would have needed longer than a half-hour time slot to pull it off. So, yeah. Though that's really the only concern I have. But for what it did, I am completely satisfied with, what we got. I couldn't ask for anything more. So, to Matt Brawley, to Brenda Song, to everyone who worked on Amphibia, was part of the cast, part of the animation, everything, thank you for making this awesome show. I cannot wait to see what happens next. And, yeah. And the sad part is I still have to talk about what I just read in One Piece. So, yeah. I just read, like, the most inspiring chapter, like, ever. So, yes, between yesterday's episode of Amphibia and the newest chapter of One Piece, not to mention yesterday's episode of Hot Ones was great. If you wanted to kick off a weekend in mid-July, this was the way to do it right here. And, you know what? What can I say? Amphibia is a great show. I highly recommend it, I'm sure you can find it all over the place on YouTube or whatever. So, do it. Watch it. Do yourselves a favor. You will not be disappointed. You don't even need to thank me. Just knowing that or just hoping that you guys will be satisfied after watching it will be thanks enough. I'm not even making sense when I love the show. Go watch it. Please, you'll be glad you did. Like, favorite, share. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on the social media platforms. I am beyond humbled that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopefully have a wonderful Friday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. Like one good choice I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to give myself some Ritas today. Hey, it's Friday. I always get Ritas on Fridays. Take care, everybody. And see you tomorrow. Man, that was a great episode. Man!